Welcome to Code with Ceiven. Today, I want to move ahead and talk about the boss model. Each time we talk about the boss model, what are we talking about? Well, boss model is made up of three important elements, while there are other tools that also make the element to be complete. And these are margin, padding, and border. Okay, as you can see from the image here, margin, padding, and border. And I've also included the other two, which is your width and your height. Okay. So margin is, you can see from this diagram, we want to use this diagram to explain exactly what is box model. And we want to start with the first one I'll mention, which is margin. If you check very well, let's say this is the border line or the line of the diagram or whatever I want to trying to draw. Outside the line, you see margin. Mean that margin is outside the box, right? Margin is outside the box. While inside, you see padding. Padding is inside the box. And in between margin and padding, you see the border. Okay, this is the thick line that's explain the border, and that also differentiate between padding and margin. So border differentiate between the two. And even after padding, you now see your content, which is what we are talking about. Okay, so the content is made up of the height and the width, which is the length, which has to do with the length of the content. But note one thing: your margin, your border, and your padding, they don't affect the content. Okay, they don't reduce or increase the content. They are actually outside the content. So whatever height in pesos or rand or any other thing, 100% that you give to the height and width of your content remains the same. For example, if you're talking about border, margin, and padding, most times you always measure them. Okay, they are measurable. So that's why if you see the small box, I use a little measure to show this. Let's assume that my margin is 50 pesos. Top, here is top, here is the top of my margin, right? And if this is the top, then here should be the bottom. Okay, so you have top, you have top, you have bottom as far as margin is concerned. And you also have your left, and you also have your right as far as margin is concerned. All these are measured using pesos or percentage or others. Okay, padding has the same thing. You have padding top, you have padding bottom, you have padding left, you have padding right. So they all have the same thing. Okay, borders will do with thickness, which is made up of three major items. The thickness, like solid, the number, which is the pixels, and the color. Okay, but don't worry, I'll devote a time for border very soon. You're gonna get that clear. So if, for example, I gave my top 50% and I gave my left 30%, I didn't give another one. In coding, it simply means that since I've defined my top and my left with 50 and 30%, then it means that the right, which follow the left, should be 30%. And the bottom, which follow the top, should also be 50%. So for adventure, I didn't explain, give all the percentage to all of them or pieces to all of them, then any number I give becomes R. For example, if I give just 50% for margin, it applies, that 50% will apply to all the four sides of the margin. Okay, so how about these things in the back of your mind as we continue this journey? So the next thing, let's just try to define or explain a little about padding. Padding resides within the box as we explained earlier on. So you can see that the background color in this example you're showing here is the same in the content area and the padding area. Okay, for example, this is the background color, give it yellow. So this background color that is yellow is the same thing that's also in the padding area. Okay, so it serves as a kind of differentiator between the padding and the margin. Okay, don't forget that. So let's move ahead and continue what I was explaining. What about borders? Well, border, let's use like a guy. This guy are a little different though, because border don't only have a border width, but they also have a border style. Okay, and properly, he also have a border color property. So you have a border width, border style property, border color property, and also have a border width property. That's why I can give it like pixels, solid, and color. Okay, so only the border style property is required, and here is how you declare them. Okay, you can say border style is solid, you say border width is 1 pixels, and say border color maybe white or gray, hash 333 or anything that you can think of. Okay, so let's dwell more on border and explain what I'm trying to talk about. If you check very well, this thick line is the border that this is the thick line. Okay, and remember it always differentiate between a serve as a differentiator or something that is between the padding, the margin and the padding. So let's say you want to do border 10 pixels solid black. The 10 pixels here deals with the thickness or the thickness, okay? While the solid here deals with the style. Now, what kind of style are we talking about? And we have different kind of style. You have solid, you have dotted, you have so many of them. Don't worry, by the time you start working, you'll get to know all of these styles as well as others that you may even come in contact when you start working on your own. So, and then you have the color. You say black. Black stands for color. So these are the three major ingredients of border. Okay. Hope you are getting them. Let's say, for example, I say my border should be 30 pixels solid black. You know what the three stand for, right? Yes. So this 30 pixels solid black doesn't affect, like we said earlier on, like just like margin and or padding. The border too don't affect your content. Okay, the content size remain the same. If, for example, my width say is 50 pixels and my height is 50 pixels, no matter how many height or how many pixels I give my border or my margin or my padding, it won't affect this width that is inside. That is the content. What I'm talking about, it won't affect it because every other thing is outside the content. Okay, the content measurement is sacred, is there. Other things, other measurement will come and add up with the content measurement, but they can never reduce the content measurement. I hope you are getting it right. So let's say, for example, let's portray this for you to be clear. If I decide to make my border top 0 pixels, mean that there's no, I don't want any border on the top. The size remains for the size for my content remains the same. And this is a very good example. Let's say border 30 pixels solid black. I've given 30 pixels solid black, and then another border top and make it 0 pixels. So here you find out that this is the thickness for 30 pixels, and up nothing is there, 0 pixels. What about our length? It still remains the same. It still remains exactly what is given from day one. So we can actually declare the first one and second one. While our CS we first of all follow the first one. When you get to the second one, you go back. Oh no. Maybe I was giving 30 pieces to the top. Say no, the top is 0 pieces. You now go back and remove that 0 pieces. And that's what we are showing right here. Okay. So talk about specificity. Specificity, you'll be able to come learn about this. Maybe very soon we'll talk about that. So let's also say that we said maybe our border which will be 0 pesos, 10 pesos, 20 pesos, and 30 pesos. What are we talking about? In this instance, the first one is your top. That I say it should be 0 pesos. While the second one, which is a 10 pesos this time around, has to do with your right. Okay. So depending on where you are looking for, where you have your right, your top, your left, and your right. Okay, and this is here the bottom. So 1 and 3 always have the same purpose, like 0 pesos and 10 pesos, while 4 and 2 serve another purpose, different one, like 20 pesos and 30 pesos. Okay, so we have your top and bottom together, and you have your left and right together. So if you differentiate there, you should be your top and bottom, while here should be your left and right. Hope you're getting these things. Hope it's clear. So, but what about the content? We say content remain the same. And for the content to be gradually wrap your content with div. And as you know, div is not anything. Div is just like, or we call it void element. If you've taken my class on div, you will understand what div is all about. And I believe if you didn't do that, please kindly go back to our class on HTML and we'll discuss about div. Okay. So this is how far we can go. Let's now go practically and let me show you how you can actually do this. Okay, we're going to draw boxes. We're going to draw boxes. We're going to create a container that will contain everything. Then within that container, we draw our boxes. Okay, I'll just use like 3 examples: box 1, box 2, box 3 to explain. I'll give you the same border, margin, padding, and the rest of them, so you can easily understand how to use this. Okay, so without much ado, we come over here and start with div. Okay, div dot container. So that dot container means we are giving the class of container. Okay, press enter. Bring this down, because it has to wrap over every other thing we're going to do here. So we go over here and start with the first one, which will be div dot box 1. Okay, box 1. Bring it, Then you go to the next. Let's break it. BR, so there will be a space. Go to the next one and say div duct box 2. Okay, same thing. Try to use BR to give a space. BR. Then go to the next one. Div dot box 3. Okay, box 3. Same process. So now we've created our div. I'm sure everything is well and okay, so I won't go back. There's no point going to check it up. Besides, we even go to check it up, you won't see anything. Because like we told you, div is a void element. It's just like empty element. Nothing will be shown there unless you go to CSS and convert this thing that is empty, that is nothing, to become something. So we want to actually create a bus using CSS. Okay, without bringing an image of a bus. So go to style.css. I'll start with the first one, which is the container. So I'll just write dot container. Okay, dot container. As usual, put your code browser. So let's start with the width. Let's give me a width and a height first. So let's say the width should be 500 pieces, right? 500 pieces. Okay, and like I told you, this width doesn't mean anything. You can give any width you like. Okay, there's no particular number that must be on all width. No, depending on what you're doing or what your client told you to do. Then also I'll be giving a height, same height, 500 pieces. 500 pieces. Then after that, I'll go ahead and create the border. Give me a border. So the border should be, let's make it 30 pieces solid, or solid, what color are we going to give it? 30 pieces solid red. Let's give him red. Okay, red. And then let's give me a margin. Let's say the margin, we want to give the margin for all. But like I told you, you can just write, if you put only 20 pieces, that means all size will take 20 pieces. Okay, but if you add another one, now that will be for the bottom. Let's say the bottom should be, let's say 10 pieces. That means the bottom is 10 pieces. If you add another one again, that will be for the left. So let's say the left is 15 pieces. 10 pieces. Add another one again, that will be for your right. So let's say the right, which is the last one, should be 12 pieces. So you can actually do it this way, or just giving one pieces all rounder, just by writing just 20 pieces. Okay, hope you're getting this. So we're now giving a padding. Same thing with padding and margin, same thing. So if I decide to give him, let's say 12 pieces, that's all. So that means that these 12 pieces is the same time. You have to repeat 12 pieces, 12 pieces, 12 pieces, like 12 pieces, 12 pieces, and keep on repeating. But CSS is coding. The CSS is very intelligent to understand what you're trying to do. So once you write only 12 pieces, we give all the sizes 12 pieces. So there's no point repeating 12 pieces, 12 pieces, 12 pieces. Okay, you're getting it. So we've done our width, our height, our border, our margin, our padding. Is anything remaining? Yeah, background color. Let's give me a background color so I can see what we are doing. So let's come over and give a background color. Background color. Let's make the background color, since it's red, let's make it, yes, let's do it this way. So Control S for save. So let's go and check if what we did have applied. Okay, come over here, right click, open with Live Saver. You have to scroll down. I know we've been doing things before now. Yeah, wow, this is it. Very thick. Very thick. Do you see it? So right here, there are other divs here. Okay, like our box 1, our box 2, our box 3 is right here. But you can't see anyone. Why? Because they are empty boxes. They are empty. You can't see div. Okay, div is empty. Div is it's a void element. But let's now go and do things that make it to see div by creating exactly the same thing, but maybe in a smaller format. They will all be inside this box. So without much ado, let's go to the next one. Since the first one has worked, that means everything is applying very well. So go to the next one, which is dot box 1. Let's start with dot box 1. Dot box 1. Okay. And as usual, open your code browser, bring it down. So what I will just do is I will copy this. Okay, let me not copy it now because of you. So let's repeat it second time, and third time we'll just copy and paste. Okay, so do the width, and let's make the width for this to be, let's say, 150 pieces. Okay, then didn't do it very well. Okay, remember you must always end with semicolon. Width, let's say 150 pieces. Okay, 150 pieces. Then we go for the height. Height should be the same thing, 150 pieces. 150. For those of us who know this already, please don't be angry. We are doing this for the sake of beginners, okay? And this class, of course, is meant for beginners. So that's why I'm repeating this instead of just going through copy and paste. So email after width and height, go to the background color, right? Let's go to background color. And for this, let's give him let's give him this, okay? Let's give him this color. And then we'll go to our border. Go to our border. For the border, let's give him 10 pieces. 10 pieces dotted. Let's put dotted, okay? Let's put dotted. 10 pieces dotted or dotted. Let's use the same thing, dotted red. Let's use the same thing, okay? So they kind of uniformity, okay? Then let's give him a margin. So this time around, just put a margin for and margin. Let's say 12 pieces around. So we have 12 pieces, okay? And giving a padding of 10 pieces for all. Padding all should have 10 pieces, okay? And I've explained this before now, so you know what is going to happen at the end of the day. So Control S for save. Let's go and check if that has appeared, but it just have to appear. So right click, open with Live Saver, and come over here, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. It didn't appear, it's yet to appear. Probably we made a little mistake, but don't worry, we're going to find it out now. So what is name is box 1, right? Let me copy it so I won't make mistake. To see for copy in case if there's a mistake on that. Cancel this. Let's come over here and write a dot to V for piece. It give me a width of how many pieces? 150 pieces. Height 150 pieces. Background color we see is green. Let's change this background color to black. Okay, that no, this might not be the reason, but let's just change it to black. Then border 10 pieces dotted. With height is 150 pieces. Background color is black. Border give him red. Then our margin should be 12 pieces and 12 pieces. Okay. Control S for save. Let's go back and see if maybe if there's any mistake. We're going to find it out sooner than expected. Let's scroll down. Still didn't appear. Something is wrong somewhere. Anyway, let's try and find out what is wrong. Okay. Let's try and cross check our work. See where probably the mistake must have been. Okay, so let's just try and cross check. Let's clean everything and start all over again. So let me say the width. Let's start with dot box box 1. Sometimes error like this will just appear and be surprised where the error is coming from. And you try to debug and clean it. Better clean off everything and then retype it again. So let's start with the width. We made the width 150 pieces. 150 pieces. Then let's do the height. So the height should be same 150 pieces. 150 pieces. And let's do the background. Sometimes that is with virtue of a web developer is patient and being able to cross-check things, see if you can get things right. Okay, see, you see a mistake I'm making right now. So bring it down, background, color. Let's look with something like yeah. So let's go to the next one. After background colors, let's talk about the margin. Let's talk about the margin. And let's put the same thing, 20. Let's make it 10 pesos, 8 pesos, 9 pesos, okay? 10 pesos. But it didn't mean you can just give it one like the way I did it before now and we still go, okay? So don't think that because we've changed this back to 8 pesos that make it to work. No, in case it work. Not because of that, okay? So let's go to padding. Make the padding. Let's make the padding 10 pieces or render. Okay. I think this should work. This should work. This should work. Okay, should work. So Ctrl S, let's save our work. And as usual, come back to our contact and then open with Lifesaver. Okay. With Lifesaver. So let's scroll down and see. Supposed to apply. Wow, bam, it's not applied. So you see it. So this is the first box one. So let's use the same method and also do box 2 and box 3. They're supposed to come up. I don't know what happened. I'm making it to come up that first time, but in any case, that's a bit of programming. Sometimes they may try to just whine you. You just have to be there and do what you did. So as usual, it's supposed to be repeating everything. Let's just copy. Okay, we'll copy this, change the numbers, and it's better that way to quicken the work. So let's say dot box 2 this time around. Box 2, not box 2. Bring it down, paste. Let's draw our width as usual. Let's make our width to be same 150. Okay. In fact, let's just copy this one instead of recopying the first one. So we're going to do exactly the same thing for every other one. Ctrl C. Let's paste it here. Ctrl V. Okay. Ctrl S for save. Let's go and check. It's supposed to appear. With Lifesaver. Let's check the work. Oh, it comes back exactly the same place or what? Or let's try and find out what is wrong. Let's figure it out right away. So this one, let's make this one to be say 150, 150. Background color, yeah, red, yeah. That's why programming requires careful consideration. Do you notice something that happened? Maybe most of you must have seen it, but I didn't see it. I did box 3, box 3 twice. Instead of box 1, box 2, box 3, I did box 1, box 3, box 3. So because it's box 3 and what we are designing style is we use box 2, it can work. It can work. Nothing like box 2 in our contact. Okay. So let's clean it up and put it box 2. Okay, and you save it. So sometimes you find out that you've done the right thing, but it's still not giving you what you want. Sometimes problem may come from your HTML side, okay, or maybe your image side. So when you have checked, you check and recheck and recheck, and you find out that you are not getting solution, then go back to the things that you did that has a link with what we are doing now. So probably that way you'll be able to debug and get the solution. Otherwise, we would have been staying here all through and won't get the solution. I mean, you didn't come back to HTML to check. I found that it is a bus. Instead of bus 2, we did bus 3. So we did bus 1, bus 3, bus 3. Instead of bus 1, bus 2, bus 3. So having said that, it's supposed to work now and it's going to work fine. Okay. So you right click and you check it. And if you mind you, if you didn't make this mistake that I made, yours will work perfectly well. Okay. While mine will be giving me problem. Okay. So if you're able to separate your bus to bus 1 and bus 2, you see it. So this is box 1, this is box 2. Okay. I use the same color for uniformity. Okay. So you can actually on your own, you can do box 3. The same process, the same method. Just go to your style sheet copy this and turn it, and then the only thing you're going to change is dot box 3. Okay, dot box 3. And if the space is not enough, then you can also increase the container space for now. Later on, I'll show you what you can do. I can put these boxes to become inline, okay? But gradually we'll get there. Hope you understand what you're studying. If you don't understand, kindly ask question and just take a look at what happened today. Even me, as I'm working it, find out that sometimes little mistake here and there will come. So when you meet those challenges, those mistakes, don't worry. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. What matters is that you getting the concept. Little by little, you're able to get it over and solve the problem. If it didn't still work, just close your system, go take a walk, relax a little, come back, do the same thing, and be surprised how these things works. Okay. So thank you once again. See you in our next class. Bye.